Lewis was a well-trusted Army captain appointed by Jefferson to lead an expedition. Congress spent $2,500 on the Western expedition, and Lewis was prepared. Lewis needed a wingman and chose Clark to behold the honor. Clark was also an Army officer. Their objective was to report back on the geography, plants, animals, and other natural features of the region. Jefferson also added 2 tasks: make contact with Native Americans and search for a waterway between the Mississippi River and the Pacific Ocean. An expedition is a long and carefully organized journey. Lewis and Clark's expedition was very organized. Jefferson gave them objectives and even funded the expedition. Sacagawea was a Shoshone Native American who immensely contributed to Lewis and Clark's expedition. Her knowing of the land made major contribution to the quest. She also was able to communicate with fellow and/or hostile natives. Lastly, she saved Lewis and Clark's very precious notes, reports, and journals when they fell into a river. Surveying is the act of determining the form of land. This is Zebulon Pike. In 1806 to 1807, Pike's goal was to explore the southern part of the Louisiana Territory. He has a mountain named after him in the Rockies, Pike's Peak. He ended up spending most of his journey in Spanish territory, and the Spanish soon made Pike leave. They accused or believed he was trying to seize Spanish territory so that he would help America take the Spanish land.
Meriwether Lewis was President Jefferson's choice as leader of the famous expedition, mainly because he had experience as an Army captain. He could survive in the wilderness and knew the ways of the Indians and was scientifically curious. The expedition had 3 main objectives. The first was to explore the Missouri River. Finding out where it led and where its origins were would give America more power. The second goal was to make peace with the natives. Jefferson wanted to have the people that lived on his land on his side. Third was to learn about the wildlife. In the many acres of land that came with the Louisiana Purchase, there was a myriad of strange new plants and animals that no one knew anything about. According to Jefferson, Lewis and Clark were to discover several things about Native Americans. These things were the extent and limits of their possessions, ordinary occupations in agriculture, food, clothing, and domestic accommodations, diseases prevalent among them and the remedies they use, moral and physical circumstances, and articles of commerce. Jefferson also wanted Lewis and Clark to attempt to trade with the Indians in order to understand more about them.
While on their journey, Lewis and Clark faced many geological hardships. They journeyed down a winding river called the Missouri River, which made it hard to navigate. Temperatures dropped to below 0 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter. They crossed through the Rocky Mountains, which were very treacherous and snowy. They also discovered the Great Falls, which were 5 separate waterfalls that are in Montana. While on their journey, Lewis and Clark were accompanied by a Native American Shoshone named Sacagawea. She saved their precious journals when they fell into the river, and she knew the land better than they did. She could communicate with other Indian tribes and save their lives on multiple occasions. Zebulon Pike wanted to climb Pike's Peak in the Rockies, but instead ended up spying on the Spanish borderlands. He achieved an undesired goal. Lewis and Clark achieved their desired goal and more.